Good afternoon, Taurus and fellow cross watchers. This is Inner Knowing Messages Tarot. My name is Rhiannon and thank you all for being here. Today's reading is a mid-June monthly read. I just want to check in with you all to see what your energy is all about. Where are we? What's happening? Thank you for being here, guys. I always appreciate you, and I do read your comments and I do reply. So please feel free to comment below of this video. The first 3 minutes of this video will be the short that I upload. If you want to watch the full reading, please go to the video section, hit the subscribe button, and there you will find all the full length videos that I record on these readings. Okay, so I'm just going to get a card from the Love Messages Oracle cards just to see what they want to tell us today. Cards, as always, have been a little bit talkative, a little bit jumpy. Some are flying out than others. Okay. And these are like more of a spiritual message that I like to include in the readings now. I think it's interesting how they seem to correlate and flow with the reading. So let's see what's got to come out for you today. And then I like to finish off with my angel number cards, oracle number cards. Okay. Let's go. Right, so we start off with a wonderful card here. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. I thought so. It was the 9 of Pentacles. Amazing, guys. What have you got going on, Taurus and fellow cross watchers? Let me know, because this is all about your independence. It's about your success and your financial stability. It's all about security, profits, being prosperous overall, wealth. It's could be about property. It could be about your abundance overall. You might be rewarded with something. Your hard work is paying off. And, you know, things are looking good. You know, very business-like, very business astute. Let me know. And we also then have the Page of Swords. Fantastic. And this is all about your curiosity. And I think this is why you're such a successful person and why things are going your way, because you look into things, you know, you like to take action when you can. Understandable that patience is needed sometimes. However, you do have inspiration. You know, you have these ideas and you try to plan things and you're vigilant and you're protective and guarded. But you will take action, and that's a good thing, you know, and you don't suffer fools gladly, but at the same time, you've got the mental agility and the focus and determination to make things happen. So that's an interesting one there. Now, with the Love Messages Oracle card, this card says, actions speak louder than words. If you want to know what someone is feeling, watch what they are doing. This came up in one of the reads yesterday that I did. And I always use this quote whenever something like this comes up. And it basically relates to the wonderful Maya Angelou. And the quote that she said was, when somebody shows you their true colors, believe them. And this is literally the same thing about actions speaking louder than words, because you can tell a lot whether somebody replies to you, whether somebody checks in on you, or whether you get complete silence. Because as far as I'm concerned, silence is a response. It means one of two things: either they have forgotten, or they, you know, that they can't be bothered to reply, or that they don't value your worth enough to show you the respect to reply to you. Equally, if it's always you that's forever contacting them, messaging them, checking in on them, then surely it should be a reciprocal thing, whether it's a friend, family, or relationship. It shouldn't just be a one-sided thing. It takes two to make a friendship or a relationship work. You know, it should not be one-sided. And that's when you've got to really think about these things, okay? Is it worth your time and energy? I've backed off from so many people over the years, friends and a lot of family, because it was always one-sided. It was always me going to visit them. It was always me, do you know what I mean? That was the one that would, you know, give them lifts and pick them up and drop them home. And you know what I mean? And I just thought, hold on a second, what about me? You know, no one's offered to do something for me like that. Well, hold on, why is that, you know? Why aren't they coming over to me for a change to visit me and see how I am and come to my home? And I just got fed up of it being quite heavily one-sided. And I just thought, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And I stopped doing it, and I had comments like, oh, we're not as close as we used to be. Yeah, because you don't make the effort for me. That's why, I'm not going to keep putting my energy into something that is not reciprocated back. So if you're going through something like that, whether it's friends or family, it doesn't matter, guys. Yes, I understand blood is thicker than water, but that doesn't mean that they've got the most respect for you and the love and the sincerity behind it, because a lot of family can be quite envious and jealous. Again, I completely can relate to that one. I won't go into details there, but let's just say it's certainly been apparent. And yeah, I'm not dealing with it. I'm done. It's like, if you can't be happy for me and what I'm achieving, there's something wrong with you, not with me. I'm always chuffed for people. If I see somebody win the lottery, oh my God, I'm so happy for them. I couldn't think of anything better if it helps them and puts them in a better position, if it stops them from being homeless and, they can finally retire instead of having 2 or 3, 4 jobs or whatever just to try and make ends meet. Good for them. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly what it should be about. You should never feel envious and jealous of people's success. At the end of the day, everything comes with a price tag or a risk. Not everything that you do will successfully work out the first time. And a lot of people that have businesses, you'd be surprised at how many businesses or things that they've tried before they finally got it right and it finally worked. Same with online businesses and all sorts of things. So believe me when I say this, okay? If people don't have your best interests at heart, it's time for you to decide whether or not it's worth your time and energy. I look at my energy and my time as currency, and I like to spend it wisely. So I hope that helps you make a decision there. Okay, so this card is called Release. It says, I stop fighting my fears and the hardships of life. I control my thoughts, live in the present moment, and accept each stage of life. I work on what I have power over and put into God's hands what I can't change. I trust that everything will work out for the best. I think that ties in as well, again, with the actions speak louder than words, because you can't control everything. You've got to realize that there's only so much you can do as a person. It takes a village to bring up people. It's not one singular person necessarily, and it doesn't have to be direct blood related family. It can be people that you're close to, as in friends, that are more like a family to you than your actual blood related friends, right? So not everyone grows up with a wonderful mother and father upbringing. Some people don't even know who their parents were, their biological parents. So there's so much that goes on in people's lives. Not everyone has the picket fence. I certainly didn't have that. And it really does highlight to me what and who are important to me, and who I know I could certainly rely on if I needed someone's help. And believe me, there's not many people on one hand, but those people I completely cherish and have the utmost respect for. And equally, if they wanted me for help, I would be there. And there's a big difference in that. You can't put a price on it, guys. Not at all. And this is an interesting card. Again, it can actually tie in with this very well, because this is the card which is 666. It's not a demonic devil type card, which what people make it out to be. It's about your reflection. This is all about your love, affection, compassion, kindness, attention, and self-love. Several unexpected developments will enter your life and impact how you feel. This is a chance to reevaluate your identity. You need a mental shift towards greater optimism, self-assurance, and trust. Put your faith in your gut and your inner voice. Pay attention to your feelings and use them to help you become a better person. This is fantastic, guys. This is so true. Again, your gut feeling, I've said this so many times, and I will never give up on saying this and telling people the truth on this, because one of my biggest lessons ever to date, I would have to say, is my gut. Trusting my gut feeling, trusting my instinct, believing in that, and knowing that what it was telling me the truth. For those that don't know, I was once married, and before I even got married to that person, a year prior to getting married to that person, I actually tried to call off the wedding. I actually wanted to end it all with him. And he believed and understood, but at the same time, he made me believe that he would change and that he would do X, Y, and Z. And, you know, I believed him because I did love him and I wanted it. I ultimately wanted it to work. However, it didn't, and he did not change. And the situation continually stayed the same stale unhappiness that I felt. And not that I'm trying to change the person, but when somebody promises you something and they promise it the same time over and over again, and 7 years later it's exactly the same, then that person really isn't going to change, And I should have just listened to my gut when I tried to call it off 2 years into that relationship. And sadly, I believed what he said and it didn't happen. So, I had to walk away after 7 years and I am now divorced. But I'm also very happy and I moved on and I'm with a fantastic person that is certainly my equal. And we're a great team, So I would honestly say to you, trust your gut, whatever is telling you. If something feels off, trust it. If something doesn't feel right, believe in it. You may not see what's going on, but if something just feels off, go with it, okay? It's trying to tell you something. That's the whole point why they call your stomach, your gut feeling, as your second brain, because it picks up on so much various frequencies of energy that you will never see by the eye. You will never see by the naked eye at all. You're lucky if you can see auras and things like that, fantastic, but not many people can. So please, please, please listen to yourself, your intuition, your inner gut, trust it. It's telling you something. So there we go, Taurus and fellow cross watchers. Thank you all for being here. If you could kindly give this video a like and a thumbs up by hitting that button and a subscribe, I would appreciate it. Until next time, I shall be back again soon. Thank you all for watching till the end. Take care all and stay blessed.